Coverage with Paul Rogers and Bob Valvano begins at 5:30 with live play-by-play at 7 o'clock. And then directly following network postgame, it's the Coors Light postgame show with Ethan Moore. It's all tonight on your home for the Cards, 93.9 The Ville and the ESPN Louisville app.
Here's the steal, 3-on-1. And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marcus in the open floor. Incredible.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for all is making. About midway to the midday with R is making. And you can call in or lay back and just listen to R is making. So sit back and relax and watch Raven.
Broadcasting live from the Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyer Studios. Time for Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville. Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Go! Ooh. Welcome back. Welcome back. There's that echo. There's that echo again.
Okay.
Okay, there it goes. There it goes.
All right.
Welcome back. Steve, it's game day. Steve Rummage in the building. Nikki V in the booth.
It is, man. It's listen, it's game day. It's good. It's good because we need it, man. We need to get back on the horse. We need to, get the taste of that loss out of our mouth. We got a little bit of a gift last night via Georgia. Last night, which puts us back in second place.
Rich Dick needs to calm the F down a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. A little bit.
Or just go ahead and just win. We don't have to play them again, so go ahead and get that dub. And but yeah, kind of yeah, I mean that's where we're at.
Well, that's kind of good to hear about.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I thought you were talking about some other gift.
Oh no. No, I don't know. That's almost getting boring now. They've lost 4 of the last 5.
They've lost 4 of the last 5, Steve?
Yeah, like I'm kind of like, yeah. I mean, it's like it was funny a couple times, and now I'm like, yeah, Kentucky lost. I don't. Again. I wish I had more juice for it, man. I do. I wish I had more juice. I'm like
Vandy, Arkansas.
Yeah, and ironically,
Ole
they beat
Miss.
Tennessee.
They beat Tennessee.
At Tennessee.
Who else did they lose to?
I had to look at their schedule. I don't know. No. Yeah. It was somebody though. So here I'm looking at it right now. Okay, they've lost to They lost to Vandy. They beat
Bama.
Bama. Yeah.
Really? That one just went over under the radar. Good old Bama loss.
I know. Yeah. So I'm just like, yeah, it's cool. I don't know.
Okay, how'd your game go?
Texter said it. Yawn, another Kentucky loss. Like, I know. Yeah. It's like, all right. Yeah, they're 7 losses now. They're probably going to end up with like 10. I don't.
They're going to move up in the rankings.
I know.
How do you said it?
Well, but it's an SEC loss, so it doesn't
last
count.
5, and they're still They're still 14.
Yeah. They have and they still play at Texas. Vandy comes to Kentucky, which I don't think Vandy's very good. I just think they beat Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina comes to Kentucky. South Carolina's not very good. They go to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's okay. That's kind of the one I wish we had
Steve,
back.
you sound like one of them. Just everybody sucks though.
I know, but then they got Auburn, who is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to Missouri, who's been playing really good, and then they got LSU. So yeah, like they're going to end up with like 10, 11 losses.
3 seed.
Yeah, minimum. Yeah, minimum 3 seed.
How many teams are in the SEC?
What, 16?
Did I hear somebody on my television say they're going to get 13 teams in?
Yeah.
What do you do with that, Steve?
But I mean, Missouri's 17-4. I mean, Auburn's 21-1. You know who their loss is to?
Who?
Duke. Tennessee is 18-4. I mean, there's some pretty good records in here, though. I mean,
13 teams.
Yeah, no. It was predetermined, Marcus, that they were going to get 13 teams. like it was predetermined. They were like,
and I love that it's you saying, Marcus, you of all people know exactly how.
Yeah, they decided they're going to get all their. They were really good out of conference, and they decided that all their teams are good. Nobody else is. Yeah. End of story. Their losses don't count the way other losses. I mean, think about this. We lost 1 game after being on a 10-game win streak, and we fell 7 spots in the rankings. We're on a 10-game win streak and lost 1 game on the road by 7 points and fell 7 spots.
A point per spot.
Yeah. I mean, like,
per point.
Yeah. Fell all the way to 28th. You've got a team that's lost 4 of their last 5. They sit at 14th in the country. They went from 9 to 14.
Oh my God.
That's just, look, it's like them's the rules.
You just eat it.
Yeah, when they pick who they pick. That's why the tournament is great, though, because it's like, hey, when the tournament's out, you gotta, you get a shot. You get a shot. It sucks because like some teams, they got to take a tougher road, and it's like, well, I'm taking a tougher road because of why? Just because you think that team's better?
Okay, I know I ask you this question all the time. Come tournament time, are the SEC teams going to show better?
No. And I'll tell you why. Because I watched it happen in the Big East. I watched the Big East be the SEC for years. And I watched and what I mean by the SEC
and get bloodbath in the first round.
Because when you draw Georgetown, or when you draw Louisville, or you drew Villanova, or Providence, or I'm trying to maybe not Providence, but like just some of the top teams in the Big East, it was you locked in so tightly as a team, and you could see it. And you're like, man, like these teams there, because they're looking at Georgetown, a 3-seeded Georgetown as a national championship. They're like, this is the team. You know, we beat them. And the Big East would get knocked. Now, granted, you would still have some in the end. And that probably would be the way it is with the SEC, too.
Your numbers alone, you're going to have.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the SEC, but you're going to see a few of those SEC teams drop early. Because, like I said, it happened in the Big East. It happened the same thing to us. You'd be like, 13 Big East teams. And then, you know, in the second weekend, you're like, there's only 3 left. You know, it's like, yeah.
And you know what I was thinking? As I was watching the last 3-4 minutes of Ole Miss Kentucky, I was saying to myself, possessions matter in the tournament, and that's why these teams are going to get bloodbath. These teams with these listen, there's no question, there's no denying that the athletes, you know, like SEC athletes are top heavy. You know, just some dudes, right?
Yep,
no question. But when possessions matter, and you get these teams that can run around, pass the ball, take care of the ball for an entire possession, get a good shot. Do you know what that does to a team full of athletes?
Absolutely.
That's been getting up and down the floor all year round.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Man.
Yep, it's really tough.
Yep.
And that's why, you know, when you look at that, you say, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, just because the record out of conference is what it is, I don't know that their tournament success is going to be.
Just correlate.
Yeah. And again, like I said, that's not me just hating. I mean, I'll go back to it happened to Louisville in the conference Louisville, and I think that Big East conference was really good. And it didn't matter. But I think the SEC is really good. Like, I'm not. But I still think you should be held accountable for losses. Like, or are we just saying that it don't matter? Like I said, Texter brought up a good point. We didn't just fall 7 spots because of the road loss. We fell 7 spots with a road loss and a win in the same week.
That's a great point.
Like, we won a game earlier in the week, then lost on the road to Georgia Tech
and fell
7 spots. Yeah, like, I was kind of shocked. I thought we would fall to 25, but I was like, they'll keep us in, because I mean, we just won 10 straight games or 11 straight or whatever.
It's like, how do I not become a conspiracy theorist when I see how hard it was to even get, like, the amount of good wins we had to even get and to crack the top 25?
Yeah.
And then you get that,
I know.
And then you get that 25th spot, and then a week later you're up to 24.
Was it game 6 or 7 before we even got in? Like, yeah, so it's like you've just predetermined that these teams can't be apart right now. These teams can. You know, and it's like, okay.
And again, just for me getting it out of my system, I guess, I watch it all the way. I watch it year after year, and it's the same double speak. It is if you're at the ACC or whatever, if you're whatever the conference du jour is, if you're good early and they want you, then all those games early matter. And then go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I just wanted to remind too, you know who Kentucky lost to last night, right? Ole Miss. You know what Ole Miss was ranked last night? What is it, 23rd? Was it 23rd?
I saw it, but I don't remember. 21?
Yeah.
21?
But the point, 25. But the point was that there was a number next to their name. Ole Miss has just lost 4 of the last 5. Like, when you look back through Ole Miss's schedule, before Kentucky, they lost to Auburn. They beat Kentucky, lost to Auburn. They beat Texas, lost to Missouri, lost to Texas A&M, lost to Mississippi State. Like, you just coming off 4 of your last 5. They're still I mean, it's a 6-loss team. You're still sitting there at 25. And again, not saying they're not deserving. Like, I don't want this to be taken as like, okay, I'm saying that the SEC isn't good.
Right.
I'm saying I think that's the best conference. I don't know that it's particularly close. I think the teams in there are really good, and they're really good athletes. Like, so, like, don't take this and say Stephen Marks is saying the SEC isn't good. Like, I'm saying it's the best conference in the country. I don't think that's debatable. But I'm like, it's still like the teams should still be held accountable. And I don't feel like they're held accountable, you know what I mean, the way other teams are held accountable for losses.
And like I said, I hate the frustration of me not knowing even what I'm complaining about other than feeling like it's a predetermined, you know, a way to do it to squeeze, you know, to squeeze in who you want. It kind of feels football playoff-ish, you know.
Yeah. Texas has like 10 plus top 25 teams that lost in the same week, and no one fell as far as we did. And I mean, it's true, you know. It's somebody said that's why it's always Louisville versus the world. I like that.
I'll take it.
I do like that a little bit too, especially with this team. I do like that you kind of keep that. The only problem is though, I feel like you're gonna end you. And this is gonna sound like it's not fair, but it's like you're gonna end up with a tougher road than you should have. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, is the ACC as good as the SEC? No.
But
are the top teams as good?
Right. And again, this is just, you know, it's funny whenever, you know, like whenever you're having that conversation and then you have to ask somebody who you're listening to, you have to say, hey, are you just venting? Are you really complaining? Like, do you want to fix this? Are you complaining or venting?
Yeah.
And this is more of a vent session because I do know once that tournament starts, everybody, their second game is going to be tough for the most part.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like, unless you're a 1 or 2, everybody's going to have to play somebody in the second game. And, you know, and now, and
I mean, even if you're a 1 or a 2, like, you're going to have to beat somebody significantly better in the second round.
Like, who knows? You're going to run into an Oakland in the first round.
Yeah, and you never know. There's those teams, too, that, look, we'll make fun of Kentucky about that in just a second, but in all seriousness, if you're going to run into, okay, I'm a 3 seed. Oh, who are we playing? Oakland. Oh, well, who's that team? Well, I mean, they got the best 3-point shooter in the entire country, and they have 4 senior starters, and they have a junior starter that is conference player of the year, and he's going to transfer right after this season, and he's going to go start at Arizona next year. And, you know, and you're like, well, I had no idea. I had no idea. I mean, Marcus, you remember the day we were sitting at Derby City Gaming, and Marcus, Nick, you were there too. Yeah, you were there. You teched it.
Yeah, that's right.
We were all 3 sitting there with headphones on, and Marcus and I closed the show, jokingly said, I mean, you know, Kentucky plays tonight. I mean, does Oakland have the best 3-point shooter in the country? Do they start 4 seniors? Are they one of the older teams? Do they have this junior who's a conference player of the year? And, you know, we were kind of like, yeah. And we were joking, but not. Because, like, we didn't want to just say it. But when we got off the air, you know, we were both like, this team might give Kentucky a run for their money.
And,
right.
For real, yeah.
And, I mean, each increasing year, the 1-year transfer, again, is evening out the playing field. But that team had a couple of guys that had been playing together, too.
Sure.
And I'm like, whew.
But that's the tournament, man. These teams, you just don't quite know. And you look into it and you go, oh, I mean, Louisville's going to play Moorhead. And now, granted, Moorhead's an in-state team, so we were a little more versed on Moorhead, you know. But, like, even if it wasn't, you know, you're like, oh, it's Moorhead State. You're like, well, Moorhead State has this guy, probably one of the greatest college rebounders of all time. Yeah, he's gonna go start for the Nuggets.
For
He's gonna play on the national team.
Yeah, he's gonna play on the national team. Like he's gonna be a stud. He's gonna be an all-star. Like, yeah. Well, I would be a lot more worried about that game, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's just, and how many times through the years can you go through and say that where you're like, these teams beat. Oh, that look, the guy he fact checked it a little bit. He said Mississippi State fell 8 spots.
Thank you.
So that was no, and I mean he is it's Trucking Lawrence, not Lawrence. Trucking Lawrence.
I did appreciate that because I did want to know like what were the
So it was like that's but no, it's just that's the tournament though, man. And the problem is the only reason I even talk about this bias is how many teams, though, have to play. I mean, 1 or 2 seed spots can be a massive difference in your road to the second weekend. Like, it is a big, big difference to be a 6 and play an 11 and a 3 than it is to be a 4. And play a 13 or a 12 and a 13 and a 5. Like that's a big difference, man.
You know what though, Steve?
Yeah.
Again, I'm just kind of, I guess it's an event session, but the more screwed up this top 25 is, the more wild it's gonna make the tournament's gonna seem, because it's gonna end up being misseeded. It's anything outside of the top, the ones, and there's probably 4 1 seeds and 2 2 seeds that are really chalk, like are gonna be able to chalk it up good. Everybody else is gonna be a tournament.
I'm sorry, it was Paula. It was cousin Paula. She was just saying that she's Tina and Lawrence, Trucking Lawrence's cousin. Okay, I wanted to clear that up.
Okay.
And Paula wanted her credit. She was like, "No,
give me my
it was
credit."
me.
Yeah.
She said he is
research.
She said he is a she, Steve. This is cousin Paula. I'm like, my bad. That's on me. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Let me flip it. Louisville plays really well. They keep doing what they're doing, right? This Louisville team is a tough team. Now all of a sudden you're a 2 seed. And you got a 7-seeded Louisville team. That should probably be a 5 or a 6.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh my God.
Go, yep. And
you start studying and watching film, and you're like, what the hell is this?
You know what? Now you're locked in this tournament bracket with us.
Yes.
Now you're locked into this region with us.
Yep. Now you can't leave. That's one of the best.
Did you rethink the College of Charleston tournament loss? From yesterday?
I have no beef with Mac.
Mm-hmm.
I like Coach Mac. I mean, granted, I don't want to lose to him, but I don't want to lose to anybody. But like, it's not like I want to.
It wouldn't be personal.
It's not like I would feel any worse about losing to him. Like, I don't think Chris Mack would go into that game like, oh, I'm gonna show them punks.
Right.
You know, yeah. Like that. I just no. I mean, it would suck, but like I said, I would feel anyway. Like, I like Chris Mack. I hope he has. Hopefully it's not at the expense of us, but I would love to see him make it to a Sweet 16. Or something like I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Okay, I got to ask you a question, Steve. After you left yesterday, we kind of had the individual player conversation. So after this commercial break, I want you to tell me, over the next 8, 9, 10 games, who else can we get all conference awards from? So just think about that during the break. We'll take a quick commercial break. 9th and Nineville.
Hey guys, Mark Ennis here. Is your home too cold in the winter, too hot in the summer, or are your energy bills too high? Then it's time to call First Choice Insulation, your local attic and crawl space insulation experts. At First Choice Insulation, they provide top quality insulation solutions to keep your home comfortable year round. First Choice Insulation has worked on projects like Denny Crum Hall and with some of the largest commercial and residential builders in the region. Whether upgrading your attic or insulating your crawl space, they've got you covered with professional service and the best materials. Call First Choice Insulation today for a free consultation. Stop burning dollars to heat and cool your home. Mention ESPN Louisville for $100 off your next project. First Choice Insulation, 502insulation.com.
Main Street is calling your name. Down One Bourbon Bar is ready to be your lunchtime or happy hour destination. Located right next to the KFC Yum Center and one of the hottest spots on the Urban Bourbon Trip, Down One is the perfect place to kick back before the big game or concert. We're here to prove that what tacos can't cure, whiskey will.
Your home is your fortress, and your first line of defense is your roof. So if your roof is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, you should be calling Citadel Roofing and Construction. Citadel Roofing and Construction is locally owned and operated, will provide free inspections, estimates, and of course they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? Let Citadel Roofing and Construction protect the roof that protects you by calling 502-219-7964 today.
Hey, it's Steve Rummage here. You've probably heard all about the new regulations that have hit the real estate market, making the process more complex than ever. And if you're not working with the right real estate agent professional, you could find yourself out of bounds fast. That's why it's more important than ever to work with someone who has proven their expertise. Like my good friend Josh Jarbo. Josh was recently inducted into the RE/MAX Hall of Fame and named one of Louisville's 40 under 40. This guy knows the game inside and out. Josh and the team at RE/MAX Empire are the seasoned pros you want on your side. They know how to navigate the market, make the right calls, and get you the best deal every time. So don't let a cut-rate agent make a rookie mistake and fumble your financial future. Whether you're buying, selling, or just need some mortgage advice, these are the folks you want in your corner. So here's the play. Call Josh Jarbo, 502-216-7590, or check him out online at joshjarbo.remaxempireky.com. And here's a special offer just for you guys. Mention you heard it right here on 93.9 The Ville, and you're going to receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. I'll leave you with this. Top-notch service might seem expensive, but poor service can cost you a fortune. Don't settle for less than the best.
Josh Jarbo, principal broker owner of RE/MAX Empire and co-founder of Modern Mortgage A to Z, NMLS number 2256125. Each office is independently owned and operated. Modern Mortgage A to Z is an equal house lender.
Most people don't put much thought into the value of a reliable water or sewage pump until they have to. Well, I have a team that never stops thinking about it. Kentuckiana Pump Sales. With over 35 years of experience, Kentuckiana Pump Sales, a premier Ashland pump shop, includes sump, sewage, grinder pumps, and many more to service all residential, municipal, commercial, and industrial needs. Next time you think about pumps, think Kentuckiana Pump Sales, 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, or visit KentuckianaPumps.com.
There's never been a better time to shop and save for your appliances, so come and visit us today at Chenoweth Appliances. Chenoweth Appliances carries GE refrigerators, GE washers, and GE dryers at the best prices in Kentuckiana. Take advantage of huge savings and rebates all month long. Don't pay more than you have to, so if you're building or remodeling or one of your appliances has seen better days, come in and find what you need. Locally owned Chenoweth on Taylorsville Road in J-Town or ChenowethAppliances.com. If you can't get it anywhere else, get it at Chenoweth.
This Valentine's Day, pile on the love with heart-shaped pizza from Bear Nose. Now through February 14th, you can order any Bear Nose medium pizza shaped like a heart. Dine in or order for pickup or delivery at bearnose.com. You know nothing says love like a Bear Nose heart-shaped pizza.
Yeah, it's that good. Bear Nose pizza. Yeah, it's that good.
Bear Nose, celebrating 45 years of Louisville-style pizza.
This ain't the little itty-bitty teeny-tiny bowl. This is Super Bowl 59. Kevin Hart here for DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. Scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like the player to score 6. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THEVILLE. That's code THEVILLE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5.
Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus, Kentucky only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Hey, Cards fans. Do you or a loved one suffer from gout? Gout is a very painful form of arthritis that can also lead to kidney and heart disease. I bet you didn't know there's now a Gout Center of Excellence right here in Louisville. They use the most up-to-date clinical guidelines and FDA-approved treatments to get you relief fast. If you have gout, be sure to call the Gout Center of Excellence at 502-719-2472 or visit them online at ralouisville.com. And be sure to tell them Marcus sent you.
Introducing Vigilante Hot Sauce. Vigilante is an all-natural fermented hot sauce made locally in Louisville. Made with Fresno peppers, apple cider vinegar, ginger, rosemary, red onions, and peppercorns. Vigilante brings a balance of flavor and spice to your food. Available for retail at all 4 Value Market locations: J. Shepherd Cigar Shop, Spring Street Bar and Grill, and Highlands Bar and Grill. And listen to the U of L basketball postgame show for your chance to be the Vigilante Hot Sauce hot take of the night. Vigilante, not the hot sauce you always wanted, but the hot sauce you always needed.
This is Russ Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Bourbon Company, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville.
Temperature control is and always will be one of the most valuable resources one could have. If you agree with that sentiment, then DFH Company is most certainly the company for you. Simply dial 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Make sure you look into the Mitsubishi mini split like the one we use here at the 93.9 studios for that hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. So, Steve,
I'm listening.
Nikki helped. We kind of stumbled through it a little bit, right? I didn't have any absolutes outside of Chucky Hepburn being first team all ACC.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't object to that?
No.
Are there any other awards that either Chucky or any other individuals can garner?
No, not outside of Chucky, right? I mean, I don't.
Javon Hadley the starter, so there's no 6-man-ish.
No, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. I mean, would a Rain Smith just off pure shooting prowess be like a third team all ACC or something, maybe?
Who votes on the all ACC team? The local media?
I don't know if
or
it's
ACC media
or coaches or yeah, I don't.
Because if it's coaches, then maybe.
Yeah.
I think coaches fear Rain Smith enough, or they recognize what Rain Smith brings to the table for our team.
Yeah.
That maybe they would probably suggest that he's one of the most dangerous people in the conference.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But if you finish second in the conference, you have to have a couple of guys on. What is Terrence Edwards Jr.?
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean.
You know what's funny, Steve? One year, I think it was my junior year, I think it was like 5, like it was either 3 or 5 of us made the third. We were all 13. All
They
USA.
just did.
It felt like the most disrespectful thing that I've ever seen in my life.
They
Right?
just had to put something on there.
It was just the way they did it, and I think Davenport jumped on us about it too. Like y'all see what that says about y'all? You know, like I think it was Marcus, Nate, Tony,
Yeah.
where we were just all on the third team. Cause it's like you're good, but none of y'all can be first or second team. And I was like,
Right.
This pisses me off. Right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
no, absolutely.
So if you finish second, you gotta have multiple people on one of the 3 teams, right?
You would think so. I mean, I'm looking, truthfully, it's sad, but you almost just have to look at totals. So
Like point totals.
because because I mean, like for instance, when you look at Terrence Edwards Jr., okay, you say, well, could he be a second team? I'm like, maybe. He's 14 points a game, 14-4, 14-4-2 is what he's averaging right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because at the end of the day, that feels like that's kind of what they look for. It's like
they're just gonna go down the stat lines and see who's averaging what on on winning teams or better teams.
On better teams, yeah.
So was he the second leading scorer, or he's the leading scorer?
No,
Who's the leading scorer on our team
right now? The leading scorer probably would be
Rain or Chucky.
Yeah,
I can't believe I don't know that.
Rain's 14 a game, like an even 14.
Rain Smith is averaging 14 a game.
Yep, and then Chucky.
That's awesome.
Chucky is averaging 15 a game.
Chucky is 15 a game. Rain's 14 a game, and Terrence is how many a game? 14?
Terrence is 13, like 13-7.
Wow.
And then Hadley is
11,
12.
Yep.
Yeah.
11, 12.
According to ESPN, Terrence Edwards is 13-9.
Yeah, 13-9?
Yeah, so he's like right behind Rain.
Yep. And then the last one I'll look at here would be, I'm actually curious, with James Scott. James Scott is 7.5 a game.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, you got 4 guys in double digits.
What was Noah Waterman averaging?
Noah Waterman was 6.5.
He was averaging 6.5.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I wonder if I kind of wonder if we'll get him back today. It feels like he's gonna be back today or Saturday. I don't have any knowledge on that. Just the way, because I kind of thought he would play last game. I mean, 2 games ago they said he was probably ready. And I understand making sure he's fully healthy.
Yeah.
So this isn't me knocking him at all.
Or are they given the 3-game stretch that we probably, without saying need him the least? But I don't know, though. Coach Kelsey doesn't strike me as the looks in, like, he obviously is not a look to the next game. But
especially, I mean, tonight became really, really important. I mean, you can't lose this game tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Are we allowed to say that, Steve? You can't lose this game.
No. Yeah, no, you can't. You lost to Georgia Tech. If you turn around and lose to Boston College, that's going to be a big change. Now you're 16-7. You've got 2 quad 3 losses in your last 2 games. That changes the whole conversation. I mean, that's when the word bubble starts floating around again. So you don't want, I mean, you can't go in there and get beat tonight. Like the outlook of the season would change. I mean, I'm not saying it would be like a death nail or anything, but it would absolutely change the outlook on the season.
So who is most capable of making a team, a all-conference team for the rest of the stretch? Over the course of the last 8 and 9 games.
I think Rain. I think Rain, because I think the problem with Terrence Edwards and those guys is they're just kind of do it all guys, and there are so many other do it all guys that they're gonna
around the
they're
conference.
gonna spread the love around, and they're gonna give stuff to. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Tobacco Road guys are gonna get. I mean, think about it. I mean, you're looking at it going, how would Terrence Edwards not be in? And you're like, I mean, Carolina itself has
Ian Jackson,
and Drake Powell, and
That's
guys
exactly
like
who I
that
was
that are
going
going
to
get it.
Ian Jackson was one of the first names.
Yeah, I mean, like they're going to get that, you know.
And they're
so,
they're going to the league. And they're getting drafted, so.
Yeah, you want to throw their name up there, and I'm not saying he's not
saying Terrence not
like,
going to the league either, but.
No, but I mean, these are higher profile guys. Yeah, no, without question. So like, I mean, I think Rain, just like I said, just based off, you know, he could have some big games down the stretch where, I mean, he was shot the ball. He was not great against Georgia Tech. I imagine he'll come back, play well tonight, play well Saturday.
Okay.
Of course, I think tonight and Saturday's significantly less, how do I say it? Not as good as Georgia Tech. Significantly worse than Georgia Tech. In my opinion. Like, I thought that game was, I thought Georgia Tech, and I mean, I guess it's kind of proved last night when they turned around and went and beat Clemson, that, I mean, going into that game, it's like, this isn't the same. Like, everybody keeps, I mean, I remember saying it on Thursday or Friday. I was like, they keep coupling these three games together. Like, this Georgia Tech game's a lot tougher than the other two games.
Listen,
like, it's not.
Let me do this. Let me do this. Give me what you need to see tonight. I think you're gonna have to give a particular shout out. As usual, I'm gonna do the kind of unofficial pregame show for the second hour. You know, I'm just gonna nerd out on that part, but just kind of give me a few things you need to see and put your shout out on the back end.
Yeah, I mean, I just think tonight you first off, I mean, big picture, you just want to see a nice bounce back. You want to see that these guys, and I don't think anybody expects less. Like, I don't think any fan today.
What will you be looking for in the first 6 minutes to feel confident?
I mean, defensively.
Okay, defensively.
Yeah, just defensively, that they're still, because again, I don't think there's anybody today sitting around that's like, man, I just don't think they're gonna come back tonight. You know, like, I think everybody expects them to come out ready to go. Okay. So yeah, in the first few minutes of the game, you know, you want to see just good ball movement. You want to see, you know, things that I'll be watching free throws tonight. I mean, you need to bounce back and knock those down. They've not been terrible all year. Now, they were bad against Georgia Tech in that stretch.
What you mean, the free throws or?
Yeah, yeah, and but they had that stretch against North Carolina, and here's my only issue with that is why I say I don't think it's an overall problem, but that stretch will be why you lose in the second round. Like, the stretch against North Carolina, the stretch against Georgia Tech, like North Carolina, it worked out. You still won.
The free throw stretch and to drop your head with it.
Yep, you missed three front ends of 1-and-1s back to back to back. You know, it's like in a game where you could have pulled it out, and North Carolina, if you remember in that game.
Pulled away, yep.
Well, that's what I meant, pulled away.
Okay.
Yeah, pulled away because you beat North Carolina, but North Carolina cut that game back pretty close down the stretch. You know, you had to push that back out there at the last second. Georgia Tech, you couldn't overcome it. So that's one of those things that I'm like, is that a fatal flaw for this team? It could be, man. You could watch a tournament right now. You could watch a tournament game where it's like, man, they missed 6 straight free throws, and then it's like, man, they lost by 3 to this team. Oh my God, you know, and you're like, yeah, well, so little things like that. But for the most part, man, for me, it's just big picture. Like, I just want to see what I'm expecting.
Right.
And that's them to come out ready to go.
The consistency of the 10-game win streak.
Absolutely. Like, I won't be surprised. I don't think it's going to look another way. I want to be bored. I want to be bored from 7 to 9. And what I mean by bored is I want to be, you know, it's like Coach says, I want to give the ball to Chucky, and I want him to give it back to me nice and safe at the end.
No, it's funny. I want to have I want to be able to call you or just text you like, I'm an idiot. You know, just what was I worried about? Those are the funnest calls, right?
Yeah.
The what was I thinking text.
But, and I won't even go into this because I'm sure you will in the second hour. But I can tell you why Boston College got. I mean, like I said, I'm sure you'll get into a little bit of it, but I mean, there's pieces with all these teams that you can go, ooh.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, I'll leave that at that. But
Really quick, speaking of pieces,
yeah,
this has nothing to do with anything Boston College. We just have not got a chance to even speak on it, Steve.
Oh, the trade.
The trade.
The trade.
I'm listening, Steve.
Wow. I mean, that was just kind of out of nowhere, man. I was on my way back from the Royal Rumble, and we were just like, what?
Okay, are you going, is it conspiracy? Is it owner versus owner? I listened to Byron Scott, I believe it was. He says, he said, this is an owner and an owner making a deal between two people. He said, this is not GMs. This is not players. This is two owners decided that for some reason this trade was to benefit the organization.
100%. Could not agree more. I told my son, because my son was like, did you hear what the Mavs GM said? He's like, man, this trade could really, and I said, son, you don't trade Luka Doncic unless Mark Cuban is okay with it. Like, there's no, like, Mark Cuban is so hands-on. You do not trade Luka unless he knows.
25-year-old Luka.
Yes, unless he's aware, he knows about it. And my thing, I don't even think it's really crazy conspiracy. There's just something, I just think something happened where the Mavericks there's obviously something there. It's a good trade for the Lakers because the Lakers are like, look, LeBron's got a couple years left at most, probably 3, 4. I mean, I think he could play probably for another 8.
Can they play together?
Yes. Like that stuff, I'm not saying you, but like that just kills me, man. When people are like, oh, man, I don't even know if Luka and LeBron can play together. Right. Yeah, they're going to be out there together. Like, what do? We both like to fill it up, and we both like to rebound and pass. Like, you think they're just going to look at each other like, oh my God, we're so much of the same. I mean, like, yeah, they can figure it out. Like, they're two of the best players in all of basketball.
I got to tell you though, I have been enjoying the YouTube content is just the slums sometimes, right? It can be so informative and it can just be such dirty, crap, right? It's just like anything else. Those chop ups of Luka saying, I need a beer. I need a beer. I need a beer. I need a beer.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's what it was. The ownership says he drinks too much beer. Got to get rid of him. And he's fat.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I saw the best meme, Steve, when this guy was like showing showing mashups or listening to mashups of them talking about how Luka's so fat, right? And the caption was, they're talking about Luka at like, it might be 260, right? And the guy was like, 260, you're a fat piece of jelly, and the guy's like, I'm 260. and he was like, when you listen to somebody talking about an NBA player who weighs the exact same as you, it's just, he was just so sad listening to it. But it was really, really funny. But yeah,
that's awesome.
The Luka thing is gonna be fine.
I was interested. Good piece for the Lakers.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know how it's gonna look. I am interested in how it's gonna look. You want to give a shout out?
Quick shout out. And they're saying the Cuban does okay. Well, whoever the owner is, I'm sorry, I didn't know Cuban wasn't the majority owner anymore. There's like 50 texts in here. I was like, my bad. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, whoever the owner is, but the point stands though. I didn't know that though.
Yeah, he sold.
Evidently, Jakey's saying that as minority owner, he didn't know about the trade. Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
Truthfully, like, no. I mean, I was joking with the text on, but I truthfully did not know that.
How long has Cuban been the
I didn't know that
owner
either.
of the Mavericks?
So he's just minority owner now. Interesting.
But he's white.
Can't be. Words don't even go together. It was like, thanks for that, Nick. Nick marked that too, by the way.
I put myself on the
He put himself. He said it and marked it. So you mean to tell me now the mixtape is now going to be Nick coming up with comments? How many? Like half the mixtape is going to be like Nick, just like, and his dad's going to be like, yeah. So and he's going to fart.
He's gonna put his own.
Nailed it.
He's gonna put his own laughing tracks behind all his. Actually, I'm gonna start doing that for myself too. So,
anyway, so yeah, but point would still stand. The owner would know about that trade, and a majority owner is not going to be like, "We traded Luka." Like, what? So, but you know, if you feel unaware and you know, feel like you're being left out,
good try.
Decisions and yeah.
I didn't know what you were gonna do with that.
There's really not a lot, but you know, if you've ever said that, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Go to our guys over at Tri-State Men's Health, and
this is going on the mixtape.
Yeah, I mean, why not? If you're one of the 50% of men that are over the age of 50 dealing with erectile dysfunction, get over there, man. Give our friends at Tri-State Men's Health a call. Here's the thing: you might have tried herbals, you might have tried creams, you might have tried a lot of different things, and you're like, nothing works for me. Our friends over at Tri-State Men's Health have a 90% success rate. I mean, that's solid. Now, here's the thing. You go in for an appointment. They're going to give you if medically advised, they're going to give you a test dose in the office. And yes, you know what that means. If that test dose doesn't work, yes, you also know what that means. Then you're going to get that $99 back. They're not going to charge you for that day. And then they'll help you on what to do next. I mean, look, Valentine's season's coming up. It's all this stuff. We're here, man. We're in that time of year, the spring. Look, you know what happens in spring? Sex. Okay? It's just, there's a lot of babies in
the real new
people
year.
Are happy. Yeah, it is. It really is. And I'm a big believer in that. And it's like, man, people are happy. They're, you know, and all that. So listen, if this is an issue you've been having, just talk to somebody. There's a lot of men dealing with this. Get over there, one of their great locations in Louisville, Northern Kentucky, and Cincinnati, Columbus, a lot of different places. And make sure you tell them you heard about them right here on 93.9 The Ville.
Just sneak that one in there.
Yeah. I am a believer that the spring is the new year.
It's undeniable, Steve.
Yeah, I am very, 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 very big on that.
Okay, good people. A little bit of unofficial pregame show in the next hour on 93.9 The Ville.